What's going on, YouTube? It's been about a week since my last video. Sorry, I had a few things going on. However, we are back with it, and today we got my Bills 2021 NFL mock draft. And like normal, we're going to look at our free agents first. So, there are some names that definitely pop up here. Trent Murphy is a pretty good pass rusher for them, although they're maybe not wanting to bring him back, because they already have some good depth there. And, AJ Epinesa it holds a lot of potential. Tyler Kroft was a guy that kind of had a bit of a breakout year this year, actually. So the tight end spot, they're probably going to want to keep him. Josh Norman, I think it's probably time he should hang up the cleats. He's had an up and down career. Never quite matched what he did in Carolina, but I think they're probably not bringing him back. Ty Nashik, I think is how you say it. Backup tackle, another guy that's getting pretty old. John Feliciano and Brian Winters are two really good guards for them that they're definitely going to want to try to bring back. I don't think they're going to bring back both of them, which does make guard a hole on that offensive line. Andre Roberts has been okay for them. Darrell Williams is the big one. As of right now, I do not believe they've tagged him or signed him to a long-term deal, so he definitely has the biggest offensive line market in the NFL right now. Maybe aside from Joe Thuney. So that's a big guy they definitely want to try and bring back. And then there's a few other small names here. TJ Yeldon did some things for them at points. EJ Gaines and Levi Wallace are two corners that they probably want to try to bring back. Then Matt Milano is kind of the last guy who it kind of sounds like they're mutually agreeing to kind of go their separate ways. So Milano is going to be one of the bigger names in free agency this year for a team looking for either a 3-4 inside linebacker or a 4-3 outside linebacker, or really 4-3 linebacker, I guess. But yeah, so those are the free agents for Buffalo. Let's get into the draft. And here we are, Bills selected. We are going to be doing 5 rounds today for the Bills. Put it on fast, obviously. No trades, and let's go. So, starting off, the TDN mock draft is looking pretty solid so far. Nothing too crazy. I would scream if the Broncos took Trey Lance, but, this isn't the Broncos mock draft. So yeah, here we are here with the Bills' first-round pick. Sorry, I'm trying to get that aligned. Bills' first-round pick. So there are instantly some pretty interesting prospects to go with here. Where you're probably definitely looking here for the Bills is to address the interior, or get some depth along the pass rush maybe. Maybe you want to get a linebacker, especially since Matt Milano's leaving and the unit isn't the best to begin with. There are some great corners on the board, so there are some interesting positions to go here. Gregory Rousseau is immediately a guy that jumps off the board to me because, the Bills are such a well-put-together team. The only reason they really didn't win the Super Bowl this year was just there were a couple teams that were just that little much better, as well as the fact that, although he played amazing, Josh Allen and a few other players do need some time to develop. So getting a guy like Gregory Rousseau is such a good luxury pick because, it's a pick that you can take a risk on. You're not looking for someone to help you contend right now. You're pretty much as good as you're going to get. There are a few players that maybe would improve you, but you're pretty much as good as you're going to get at this point. So for the Bills, taking a player like Rousseau makes a lot of sense because not only do they get, at worst, maybe some pass rush depth, but if they hit the potential that Gregory Rousseau does possess, even though I'm not sure if he necessarily will hit it, he does definitely have it. And, if you're getting a top-tier Gregory Rousseau, you have a top 5, at worst top 10 pass rusher in the NFL with that already scary defense. So Gregory Rousseau makes a ton of sense here, but also does linebacker because Nick Bolton and Zaven Collins are still both on the board here. And although I think Nick Bolton would fit much better, I'd be totally down to taking either one of these guys. They're very, very solid. A guy that's really starting to leak into the first round for some guys is Jamin Davis. I'm pretty sure it's Jamin. Here's another one of those guys on that Kentucky defense that didn't get as much credit as he really deserved. Him and I think it's Kelvin Joseph, right? Kelvin Joseph are two guys that really made that defense really, really good last year and even the year before that. So, while there's different ways to go here for the Bills, can you just imagine having a top-tier guy like Gregory Rousseau if he hits that potential on your team? because that'd be scary for the Bills. And once again, they're such a good team already. It's a luxury pick they can take, and if he doesn't pan out, it was worth the risk at least to what you could have gotten. But it could work out, and he could be a phenomenal pass rusher for that team, especially with Trent Murphy leaving. Then here in the second round for the Bills, Dylan Moses is still on the board, and that's pretty tempting if you're the Bills. Has some injury issues, but before the injuries, this guy was a solid first round. Some people had him going as high as the number 5 overall pick. Like, that guy is very, very talented when healthy. And the injuries have really just been one big, like, ACL tear. It's not been, like, a consistent thing. If you want to go corner, if you want to get a great slot guy like Elijah Molden, it makes a ton of sense here. Because that's really what Elijah Molden is. He's not much more than a slot corner, but he is unarguably the best slot corner in this draft class. Tre'Davious White is obviously one of the best corners in football, and the other guy, Taron Johnson, really showed out in the playoffs. So it does look like they have 2 good cornerbacks in the future. But what if you got in a great nickel guy like that and a great slot guy in Elijah Molden? I think that'd be a great fit for the Bills. Or, if you want to address the offensive line here, there are some great tackles to go with here as depth, just in case, you don't bring back Darrell Williams. Or if you want to address the interior, because, again, Brian Winters and their other guard is a free agent, there are some good options here. Although I'm not sure if I'm keen on taking these guys in the second round here to the Bills. So for me, the pick does come down to Dylan Moses or Elijah Molden. Excuse me. In between the two, again, while he has some injury concerns, Dylan Moses is a phenomenal player. One of the most athletic linebackers in this class, and honestly, one of the most athletic players in this class. Again, he had a few injury issues at Alabama, but they weren't consistent things. They were just unfortunate big ones, and I think he could be fantastic on that Bills defense. Again, you're just upgrading an already great defense here to make it even better. Then here at pick 93, once again, if you're wanting to target, some offensive line depth here, Spencer Brown is an amazing tackle, very big-bodied guy, but he moves really quickly for his big body. Walker Little is another guy that I would probably take around here. I'm thinking he probably goes around mid-third round, but we're not going to take him here just because TDN does have him kind of low, so there's a possibility we can get him later. Again, if you want to address the inside, there are some really good guys here. I am a big fan of Ben Cleveland. I really love Ben Cleveland. David Moore had a great Senior Bowl, so he could be a pick here. If you want to go corner here now, there is, Elijah Molden's not here now, but Shaun Wade, I think, would fit pretty nice with the Bills, as well as Keith Taylor, Benjamin St-Juste, Trey Brown are some great options to go with here for the Bills. But I do think here the best option is going to be going offensive line, and I really, really like the fit of David Moore. And although I think Ben Cleveland is probably the better player, I think David Moore just fits much better in that offensive line. It's one of those picks where it's kind of like I just see David Moore as more of a Bill than the other guy I was just considering. I forget his name for some reason. But anyways, yeah, I do think that David Moore is a much better fit with the Bills than whoever I was just talking about. Can't remember. Don't know why I can't remember his name. But there is 2 spots we are still wanting to target here with our 4th round pick, or 5th round pick since we don't have a 4th. And we're going to be targeting either running back or cornerback here. And between the two, we'll have to see who's there, of course. But if you look at running back, for the Bills, you're probably going to want to go with more of your smaller receiving back since they already have Devin Singletary. In that case, Javion Hawkins is a great selection here from Louisville. If you haven't checked out my running back rankings, you can go check them out. But Javion Hawkins is a fantastic catching running back. I think he fits really nicely and would fit pretty well with the Bills. Although they do have some running back line depth already. They have Devin Singletary, and then a guy that people really need to wait on a little bit, but could be an amazing running back and Zach Moss. He was one of my favorite prospects from last year. So Javion Hawkins is definitely in consideration here. If you want to go cornerback, Shakur Brown is definitely a pick you could go with here. Otherwise, I'm not really looking at any of these other corners here. I don't think they're really worth taking at this spot. If you do want to address the offensive line at tackle now, let's say you don't keep Darrell Williams or, you just want depth in general, Brady Christensen is one of my favorite prospects in this class. Such a huge reason that Zach Wilson had as good a year as he did at BYU. So, you're kind of looking here. Like, my picks I'm really deciding between is Brady Christensen and Shakur Brown. And between the two, though, we do have another 5th-round pick coming up right here. So, which one do you think would probably go first? Looking at the teams ahead, these teams seem like they might be more ready to take a corner before a tackle. So I am going to go with Shakur Brown here. A guy that hasn't gotten a ton of recognition at Michigan State, but has played really well at times. He's another one of those guys that I think fits really nicely with the Bills in that secondary. He can be a bit of a more developmental project. Even if he's a number 3, he's a good number 3. Could be more than that, though. Then here with our other 5th-round pick, since I believe this is our last pick of the draft. If you're going to want to go running back here, maybe Khalil Herbert, maybe Chris Evans. Otherwise, I don't really see a pick here for them. So I do think the pick is going to be the guy we were targeting last time. Get some more depth at tackle, and God, is this guy some good depth. Again, who knows what the future could hold for this kid, but Brady Christensen is one of my favorite prospects in the class. I think he has the makings of an elite tackle as long as he lands on the right team. I think the Bills can be that right team. So anyways, now if we look at all our picks combined for Buffalo, we got an amazing pass rusher with probably the most upside in this entire class. Such a luxury pick, but a pick that's definitely worth the risk. Another guy that, maybe is a bit risky, but again, if you hit that potential, he's making your defense just that much better. David Moore, a great inside offensive lineman to either replace one of the guards if they leave, or even be depth if they need it. Shakur Brown, a great corner to go there for them. Even if he's the number 3, he's a good number 3. And then Brady Christensen, who I think should go a lot higher, but he did last there. One of my favorite prospects. Again, I think he can be an elite tackle in the NFL with the right team. Who knows? The Bills could be that right team. But that was my Bills 2021 NFL mock draft. Let me know what you guys thought down below in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. New videos coming soon. By the way, I do want to just mention really quick, I do have a second channel I'm starting that is not about football at all. So if you're wanting more football, that's not what it is. It's about, Marvel, that kind of stuff, because while I love football, I'm also a bit of a nerd. So if you want to go check that out, I'll leave a link down below to my second channel. No content up yet, but content coming for it soon. So just if you guys want to check that out. And yeah, I hope you guys all have a great day, and I will see all you dudes in the next video. Bye-bye.